Hi, everyone. Back at the Marriott in Washington, D.C. We're at the House of Delegates, and we're Dean's Chat on location. We're super excited about this weekend. Joanne and I flew in to have a couple of really interesting days with the House of Delegates. This is your first time here, Jo.
It is, yeah.
And this is my second or third time here. And so I'm really excited about what's coming ahead.
Yeah, there's some really interesting things that are kind of up for vote. There's some very interesting discussion. Couple things that have potentially really big repercussions for the profession, both with young members, students, possibly the way that we govern the educational branches. So there's a lot of really interesting things happening.
Not to mention budgets and things too.
Absolutely, yeah. And Megan McClellan is going to make her appearance for the true representation for the whole society. And there's a lot of, I think, anticipation. So really excited to see kind of how it all plays out.
Well, our plan is to bring in some leaders to have little 2 to 5 minute interviews. We'll bring in some students. Yeah. We'll bring in some leaders of the state associations. We'll bring in some practitioners, and hopefully we'll even get an interview with the new president, Brooke Bisbee, and our new CEO, Megan McClellan. So we're super excited about this episode, and we can't wait to bring it to you.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Until next time.
Welcome back. We are on location with Dean's Chat at the American Podiatric Medical Association House of Delegates meeting in Washington, D.C. And we've got Brooke Bisbee, the new president of the American Podiatric Medical Association. Welcome, Brooke.
Thank you. Good morning.
Today.
Yes, been president less than 24 hours.
That's right. You've been doing a lot of the work. Even before today.
Right.
And I'm so excited. I think the energy in the room has been outstanding.
Oh, it's been wonderful.
And it seems like everyone is really excited about this new APMA.
Oh, yes. The board's excited. Yes. As I've heard 1,000 times, it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. But yes, it is a new day at APMA, a new executive director, which everybody met on Dean's Chat a few weeks ago. But yeah, just lots of excitement. It's all about unifying the profession. Everybody needs to get out of their own little silo. And as we've been saying on the board, profession over organization.
Yeah, I loved that yesterday. I thought that was a really remarkable statement, and also shows so much the dedication that the APMA has to helping move our profession forward and continuing to make this an amazing opportunity for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. I just came from meeting with the young physicians, and as we told them, APMA is basically their dues are basically their profession's insurance. So, we all have malpractice insurance. We might use it once or twice, hopefully never. But, if APMA is who does the advocacy work, that's who has the work that they've done is what has allowed you and I to be practicing to our fullest extent of our education and training in hospitals and such. 50 years ago, they weren't necessarily able to do what we can do today. And then the people coming behind us, the YPs I just talked to, they're going to get to do so much more than I did. And that's fabulous. I'm happy for them. I don't need to necessarily be equal to them. But APMA is who made that happen. And so we are their professional insurance, I like to call us.
I like that. I think that's also a wonderful way to kind of think of it in a very collective stance. And it's exciting. Today there's a bunch of initiatives that are being voted on. And then later in the week, you guys are going to the Capitol. And I know there's a lot of interesting things happening in the insurance world and Medicare reimbursement.
Right.
So we really appreciate everything that you're doing, and continue to look forward to chats where we can get updates. So thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So thanks for having me. Yeah. It's been great. And thank you for being here.
Oh, absolutely.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, it's really exciting. There's a lot of really good energy in the room. So until next time, cheers, everyone.
Goodbye.
Hey, everyone. We're back at the House of Delegates, and Dean's Chat is on location. I'm here with President-elect.
That's right, in a few hours, yeah.
Dr. Patrick DeHeer. He's been on the board of trustees at APMA for a long, long time. We've had the good fortune of working together the last couple of years. Real positive vibe here today.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with a new executive director and CEO, Megan McClellan. It's a whole new APMA. We're looking at all of our processes and our governance, and really the whole concept has become profession first, organization second. And we're trying to get all the key stakeholders to sort of embrace that mentality too, because ultimately, if the profession wins, everybody wins, including our patients. And that's really the key here. And it just feels like momentum. Like you can feel like a surge of momentum, I think, here at the House of Delegates. And I think everybody has different ideas of what's best for the profession. And those discussions should happen, and they can be sometimes heated, and that's okay. But if everybody just thinks profession first, organization second, we'll come to a point where everybody wins.
Absolutely. I had that full vibe this morning.
Yeah.
We started out with a kind of propositions meeting, and then we went into the budget meeting, and Megan kind of gave her vision of the future financially.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that she says, hey, we're going to do a lot of things, and if they work, great. If not, we're going to shift gears.
Yeah. And I've done a lot of, I think I've been to maybe, 15 finance committee meetings. I've never seen a standing ovation at a finance committee meeting ever. Like we've had them in the House of Delegates on the main floor, but never at a committee meeting like that.
Right. That was kind of spontaneous and had a special vibe to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pat, thanks for all you do.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
And we'll connect again as we go on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Anytime.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Welcome back to Dean's Chat on location here in Washington, D.C., the House of Delegates meeting for the APMA. And I'm really excited to have Jacob Riddle here with us, a previous alumni from Midwestern University, also a prior Sun Devil, so we're excited about that in our household. So welcome, Jacob.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super glad to be here. This is actually my second time on Dean's Chat. The first time you weren't here.
I know, I
came
missed
on
that
afterwards.
one.
So first time being interviewed by you. But yeah, I was on with Dr. Jensen when I was a student there, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit. You are now a first-year resident at UT San Antonio,
Yep.
And you're part of the Emerging Leaders Program with APMA.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So like she said, first-year resident at UT, and my experience has been phenomenal so far. It's a really great program. We have really great faculty there, world-renowned. So I'm learning a lot. I didn't think I would learn this much in my first few months of residency. So really hitting the ground running, doing a lot of research too. I'm working on a few papers and stuff, so that's
Fantastic.
great. And then for the Emerging Leadership Program, so that's great. It's kind of a newer thing that APMA is doing with a young leader physician, and also now they're having emerging leaders. So basically the idea is these YLPs, they are mentors to the emerging leaders to us. And so it's really great to be around these people who are very experienced in the political realm and also podiatry. And we can ask them a bunch of questions and really kind of start observing and getting familiar with what's going on in the profession. So it's great being here in Washington, D.C., seeing where everything is happening and all the policies are being made. And I am personally very excited for the direction the profession's heading. And I think all good things are coming very soon. And I just can't say enough how much I love this profession. And just being a resident now, too, down in Texas, and being able to actually practice and treat patients, it's phenomenal. And also, one thing that I think is interesting so here in Washington, D.C. right now, there's a lot of resolutions going on regarding like student recruitment. Mm-hmm. That's one of the big things that we're kind of focusing on.
Yeah.
And so just hearing everybody's excitement about wanting to get more students, quality students into podiatry, I think is a really great thing that we're doing. A lot of people don't know what we do. Just me being a resident in the hospital, a lot of other specialties don't even really know what we do. Yeah. So I remember I was on a rotation with family medicine, and the family medicine residents were like, oh, we didn't know you guys did that much surgery and blah, blah, blah. I told them what we did, and some of them were even like, man, you picked the right profession. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I did podiatry. So it's just really fun, and I feel very fortunate, very lucky to have found this career. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you said this is your second time at the House of Delegates meeting.
So this is my first time at the APMA House of Delegates. Okay. But I was APMSA delegate, and we had our own House of Delegates. So I'm kind of familiar with it, but this is a much larger production, and it's exciting to see.
What's been your take on some of the pulse of there's been a lot of discussion and interesting engagement back and forth. What's been your experience?
It's just exciting. Again, I'm just an observer, so I can't really say much, participate much, but I think that there's a lot of excitement, especially with the new CEO we have. Megan, she's great. She's really hit the ground running. She has a lot of great ideas and perspective of where the profession should go, and I think most people are on board with it. So I think that she's really gearing up everybody and really exciting all the delegates, and so I think there's good things to come in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been really exciting. I know Lauren Worcester really worked hard on a proposal for young members and to have more support in place to really support our young members. And it feels like this is a very different APMA.
I think we're starting to see how passionate and engaged the young physicians are, especially students, especially residents, fellows. So I'm very happy to see that the delegates in APMA are wanting to get young physicians more involved. And the YLP and the ELP program is a great way to do that. And I think that there needs to be more residents involved, more students. So I'm happy to see that opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for taking this time to chat with us. And until next time.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, here we are, Dean's Chat on location. We're in Washington, D.C. at the APMA House of Delegates, and I am here with soon-to-be president of ACFAS, Dr. Alan Ng. Welcome to Dean's Chat.
Thank you guys, thank you Joe, appreciate it. Great to be here, great to see you guys here at the House of Delegates.
It's been quite a weekend already, and it's only Saturday afternoon.
It has been, ACFAS hasn't been here probably since 2008.
Oh, really?
Back in the day. With all the newer things going on in the profession, the propositions, the college felt that, some representation on the surgical side and showing our support for the CPME and APMA and trying to mold the profession in the right direction, I think it's extremely important. So the college felt that, it's time that we, join in on the input of how our profession's going. And obviously with ACFS, the college is very focused on the surgical side of the profession with education, fellowships, et cetera. But I mean, APMA truly is, our legislative arm of our profession. And it's important that we support and help kind of give our opinion and our direction of where it should go.
Yeah, well said. It's interesting today, even this morning early, when our new executive director Megan was talking about her vision for the future, it was palpable, right? I mean, everybody could feel that leadership seething through.
She's very impressive.
Yes.
She has a great direction on how to turn things around in a way, I guess we're kind of talking about. The heart of the profession is obviously our members, our colleagues, and obviously the organizations, whether it's the legislative side like APMA, which also does tend to educate. ACFS's role is obviously to support that. We do our own education as well, and I think we do it very well as we've seen over the years in our big meeting coming up in your backyard in Arizona, coming up in our ASC. APMA will meet with the Board of Trustees there, and they'll be present as well, and as well as the student arm of APMA will be there as well. So our job at the college is mainly just to support the profession, move us forward. And whether that be supporting the APMA and the CPME especially, I feel that the CPME plays a major role in our profession to make sure that education, residency, CMEs, all those are done the way they should be, autonomously, without any political influence. And that's our goal with some of the propositions that we are going against, I guess, in a way, is to make sure that CPME stays autonomous.
Very good. What are your thoughts on kind of the branding effort that we were just introduced to?
Awesome.
Doesn't that sound incredible?
It's incredible. I mean, obviously, the stuff you guys have done has been amazing. The Feet on the Street campaign, which the college has supported financially as much as we can. But you guys put all the legwork in. It's impressive. Thank goodness somebody's taken the role and driving us, and you guys have done that very, very well, and we appreciate that. The college sees that and appreciates it, and we obviously still want to support everything we can do to help recruitment and branding of our profession. I mean, the truth is, nobody really knows what we do. I have a MA who's at Ohio now at school. I have my scrub tech who's at Iowa. They don't realize what we do until they see what we do. Right. And I think that's a huge thing that we're trying to bring across with this new campaign. Mentorship is great. You can mentor somebody to the profession, but that's only one, right? Or two, or three. We need to get this out to the masses, and the campaign that they have planned, which you obviously started, I think is amazing, and it's great.
Well, I think, putting on my AA hat for a second, when we started working together with ACFAS, one of the goals was to go to a college and then find a mentor locally that could be like a knee-jerk reaction to send a student to shadow. And Michelle Kennedy at ACFAS has been phenomenal. Yeah. I will email her and say, hey, we're going to this city or that city or this state, and she'll send me a list of the docs that are affiliated with ACFAS, board certified, that she thinks would be great mentors for our students to go visit in their office. So it's been a joint effort, and we couldn't have done Feet on the Street without ACFAS's input.
I appreciate that. No, we're glad to be part of it. We want to see our profession continue to build and to flourish and to really understand, give out to the masses what we truly do. I mean, it's different. I've been practicing 24 years, and 20 years ago it was different, right? I mean, things have changed. Standardization from CPME, the college having more fellowship initiatives. The training's been standardized. We're seeing residents come out of training with excellent skills and comparable, if not better, than some of our orthopedic colleagues. In my practice, I work in an orthopedic group as well, and they send us a foot and ankle. It's something that I don't think the community or people really realize. They come into a practice, the foot and ankle guy is going to be a DPM, and we need to let the public know and understand what we do. And that's Feet on the Street. That's a new initiative from APMA. That's making sure the profession stays on the same track it's been going on the last 20 plus years with standardization of residencies, board certification, keeping our board certification a quality that it should be, meaning that there has to be some sort of level, the training has to be there. You have to be able to understand and be knowledgeable to pass the boards. And whether it's surgical, whether it's medicine, you should be able to pass those boards to, one, protect the public, but two, also maintain our quality of surgery that we've built over the years, and the respect and parity of respect from our orthopedic colleagues, from our other MD colleagues, not only in orthopedics, but also medicine, endocrinology, rheumatology, infectious disease. They all see us as the subject matter experts now, which we were not maybe looked at 20, 30 years ago. So we can't take a step back. We have to move forward.
I like your perspective, and for our audience watching this, not everybody knows that you have already been the president of the American Board of Foot and Ankle Surgeons. And now you're about to be the president of the American College of Foot and Ankle Surgeons. Can you talk about the relationship a little bit?
We're sister organizations. So American Board of Foot and Ankle Surgery essentially is the certification board. When you're done with residencies and you collect your cases and you've taken the exam, to show a competency that is protecting the public. You're a board certified foot and ankle surgeon, whether it be foot and rear foot, whatever it may be, that you have passed that test and you have got to that level that you are a solid, competent foot and ankle surgeon that will do great work. That's kind of the certification side, APFAS. ACFAS is kind of the education arm, right? Okay. So we educate, we put on CMEs, and obviously the ASC every year, which is our main event for education. And besides that, now we also have healthcare policy committees. We also have committees that are based on, membership, and committees on research. Our new registry is coming out, which is going to be amazing. It's already started. We're collecting data to show our outcomes and to show the data of what we need to do to further research and improve outcomes. And it's huge. It's a massive undertaking, but it's going to be great for the profession.
Absolutely.
And ACFS also has now the fellowship initiative. We have over 60 plus fellowships that are for advanced training, and a lot of bigger multi-specialty groups or orthopedic groups look for fellowship training surgeons. So we provide that ability to do that, or to get advanced training on certain, they may not have gotten that type of training in residency, or some of the new cutting edge stuff that we're doing now. And that fellowship helps give you more experience in that. And my fellows, I'm a fellowship director as well, but my fellows tell me that, doing the fellowship is like being 5 years in practice.
Totally agree.
You come out and you're ready to go. You've seen the best, you've seen the worst. You've learned how to think through those problems, and you become a better surgeon for that. So I think the fellowship initiative is great. I think the college, the connection between ABFAS and ACFS is great because we build on each other, right? We build on the excellence, we build on the pushing profession forward to the best educators, the best surgeons. And in combination with that, we make sure that the certification process is there for a reason, right? Not only to protect the public, to show that you are a well-trained foot and ankle surgeon and that you are there to help patients provide the best care possible and to protect the public as well.
Well said. Well, on behalf of the profession, thank you for all you do. I mean, my gosh, that's a
Same to
lot.
you as well. I mean, the feet on the street and running the school and all that's an amazing thing to make sure that we keep the process moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in Phoenix next
Sounds
week.
great.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
long. You bet.
Welcome back to Dean's Chat on Location. We're here at the House of Delegates meeting at the Washington, D.C. with the American Podiatric Medical Association. And we have Dr. Javon Bass with us, a repeat guest for us on Dean's Chat.
Absolutely.
So Javan, tell us a little bit about what's been really inspiring to you while you've been here.
Yeah, I know what's been very motivating and inspiring for me at this year's event is kind of a sea change. There's definitely been a change in thought. We're really using this House of Delegates to kind of springboard our rebranding, centered around the students and really the future of our profession. I think that we've voted on some policy changes that are allowing our students to have a larger voice in our future and their futures. And we're really putting a lot of emphasis on student recruitment in a real way, and we're putting dollars behind that, behind that motivation. So I think that it's inspiring for everyone. The APMSA leadership gave a speech, an impassioned speech, gave me goosebumps. So I really feel that this House of Delegates is about the students, about our future, about rebranding, and I think that's been the greatest positive that I've witnessed here.
I agree. It's been really interesting how much support our students are really getting.
Yeah.
It was interesting yesterday when one of the ballot initiatives didn't initially pass, and then there was enough discussion where people didn't quite understand what that was really about. And this morning when they made the referendum or reopened it, whatever the proper terms are, and then overturned it in support of our students and allowing them to have a vote. And you could feel that energy. It was so inspiring.
In the past, when there have been different rule changes that maybe the students would have wanted, that night you'll see the students kind of wondering and asking, like, what do you think? How do you feel? Why don't you think this thing passed? This affects us. Yeah. But it's usually the students leading that initiative, right? Last night, the docs, the actual members of the delegation. I mean, the hair was on fire last night. Everyone was talking about it. We were trying to figure out, who needs more information, because everyone wanted it to pass.
Yeah.
It was inspiring.
And
so
it was
really
so close to passing.
Exactly.
The other really compelling thing.
Sure. So the delegation is truly behind the students in that capacity. Yeah.
Yeah. And giant shout out to Lauren Worster and all of the work that she's put through for both of the proposals that she had, supporting and celebrating our young members.
Absolutely. Inspiring. I also think that, I think that Megan McClellan has done an amazing job. I think that she has really, again, been at the forefront of rebranding what we're doing while we're here. She's reduced some of the friction, I believe, with getting things done, even with the PAC. I sit on the APMA PAC board, and we have talked about, or I have talked about, how do we meet young members where they are, whether it's through social media, whether it's through, how they give donations. I mean, you can't send a letter through the mail to a student or a young member to try to get a donation, to help our profession that we love. You have to go to Venmo and the Cash App, and they receive their emails through Snapchat. And before, it seems as though we were focused on why we can't do some of those things, whereas Megan McClellan is focusing more on how do we use those platforms and stay within the rules. And so I really love what she's been doing.
Yeah. And it reminds me of when we had our original interview with you on Dean's Chat, you had talked about breaking down silos.
Exactly.
And it feels like that's absolutely starting to happen. And this coming together and this unification that we've seen repeated as a theme throughout the weekend. And how inspiring was it, that donation campaign, again, supporting students and student scholarship programs.
Exactly.
We got to
Exactly.
hear from one of our alumni, or not alumni yet, he's graduating this year, but Eli, and his gratitude message that he had sent out, again, like
Right.
goosebumps.
Exactly.
It's just,
Exactly.
you can feel how much overwhelming passion and
Correct.
support the profession really is putting into,
Correct.
let's do this right and
Correct.
let's do it together.
Everyone has skin in the game relative to those initiatives.
Yeah.
It's not just, the students leading it and a few impassioned members of the delegation supporting it, and then everyone's in the back just
Yeah.
kind of going to sleep. No, everyone is, I feel like everyone has, skin in the game.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to, be a part of it because they don't want to be on the wrong side of history. So yeah, I think it's different. It's different. It just feels different. I know it's different. We're already talking about next year and different things we want to do next year. I mean, so the energy is just different.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to see all of the new trails that you blaze and breaking all those barriers down. So thank you
Absolutely.
again so much for taking this
My
time.
pleasure.
I know you have other things on your agenda for today. So
Yep.
until next time, cheers, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dean's Chat on location. We're at the House of Delegates meeting for the American Podiatric Medical Association, and I'm joined by the New Mexico delegate, Dr. Janet Simon. Hi, Janet.
Morning, Jeff.
Thanks for joining us.
It's great.
We flew here together the other day,
Oh, we absolutely did.
and it was a wonderful discussion. What a fabulous weekend.
It has been, let's say, invigorating. Once again,
Right?
I have been doing this a long time, and there's certainly been times that you just, after this meeting, you sort of wonder, where are we going? This meeting, I think we are going to walk out of here knowing, okay, we're moving forward. We have some really good, sort of thoughts of putting things for all of the members of our podiatric community, sort of back in alignment, and having people, as we say, come to the table and, have good conversations, because we've unfortunately not always left with that feeling.
Well, I think it started out yesterday on Saturday in the morning. I went to the budget meeting, and Dr. DeHeer was there, and our new CEO, Megan McClellan, was there, and she laid out a path for the future from a financial perspective that really, like you said, was all inclusive for the profession. And I left there I think you hit the nail on the head. It was invigorating.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you see in the future for New Mexico?
Well, hopefully, we have challenges, as we all know, in healthcare. One of the big areas that I've been involved with is with our advocacy, and certainly that needs a lot of work. We've sort of, I think, because of a variety of issues, have not gotten the word out to our members about the importance of advocacy, both at the state level, because here in my state, New Mexico, we have a lot of health challenges. And actually, one I'm bringing up at our town hall today is in regards to malpractice insurance that's been skyrocketing and causing our practitioners to figure out how to deal with that, because
Those are some of the many
it's
challenges.
a challenge, right? Yeah. Certainly here, as a part of our legislative conference, just the basic, issue of getting, let's say, fair pay. The decreasing Medicare reimbursements are, for the most part, the same thing. For many independent practices are, wondering if we are going to be able to keep our doors open. And then we see that shift, obviously, in our population of, DPMs, going from perhaps, group independent practices into, larger groups where, there's a little bit, let's say, more cushion.
Sure.
But if you are in many of our practitioners are in small rural areas, and you can't keep your doors open if you're not getting reimbursements. So Medicare, fee schedule and fixing that, which we have been talking about, unfortunately, for, the almost 30 years I've been doing this here in DC, hasn't gotten fixed. We keep putting, fingers in the dikes, as they say. So,
well, yesterday we had a collaboration with AMA president, and
Yes.
he was here talking to the delegation. And I thought that the vision he had of unity amongst the healthcare professionals was really wonderful.
yes, that's what we all have to do is, have one voice, better educate our, legislators, because they're clueless. Unfortunately, in New Mexico, we only have essentially 2 healthcare-related legislatures.
Okay.
One's an MD and one's a physical therapist.
I hear you're calling.
Well, I'm a good information source. Let's
All right,
say that.
sounds good. On shifting gears just a little bit, this year the Richey Scholarship, which is used throughout states throughout the western part of the country that have needs for podiatry, was extended to New Mexico.
Correct.
So we're teaming up. We're teaming up on Feet on the Street.
Yeah.
And we are so excited at the Arizona College to work with you and get more phenomenal students into our profession.
We agree.
All right.
We need them in New Mexico. We have a very underserved population.
All right. Any final words, Janet?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Always great to chat. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Hi, everyone. Dean's Chat on location. Joe and I are reflecting back on this wonderful House of Delegates meeting in Washington, D.C. And one of the lasting impression I have, Joe, is the leadership that's been exhibited by the House of Delegates and the Board of Trustees. And it was just so incredible to watch Dr. Brooke Bisbee be installed as the president yesterday. Well, what a great leader.
Absolutely. And what a beautiful speech that she delivered in her acceptance, and having that massive rally of support of friends and family, and to hear that very emotional tribute to them, because none of us get to where we are without the support of the people that help get us here. And I really loved that. Like, again, you can feel the goosebumps when those moments where we really have that human connection. And her speech was just absolutely brilliant, talking about, the unification of our profession and the support that we want to provide to students and young members and all members, all levels of association. And it was very inspiring.
Yeah, I think she did a wonderful job. And really the Board of Trustees in total just did a phenomenal job. And I think we should do a shout out to Lauren.
Absolutely.
Lauren Worcester is
Absolutely.
A young Board of Trustees member. Is a young practitioner? Is that what it is?
Yes, they call them YP.
YPs. All right. Well, she's from Arizona.
Yep.
And we love Lauren.
So we're biased.
And do you mind commenting on the proposition that was she proposed and was ultimately approved?
Yeah. So, and this is really remarkable too, is to be an observer and watch the governance and how different opportunities can present and how it gets proposed and all of the formality behind it and how much attention to detail. It's quite humbling, and how much work that Lauren put into 2 different proposals, both supporting young practitioners and supporting students. And again, it's just so humbling, to see that energy and to see the profession rally around her and support it. It was really awesome.
Well, giving the students a voice, I think is so important.
Absolutely.
They have skin in the game. They are paying top dollar for a tremendous education. But it's only right to give them a voice in the future of our profession, because they are the future of the profession.
Absolutely. And to show them that support by saying, we hear what you're saying, like, we want you to be a part of this. And so acknowledging their role and their importance in these organizations, I also think is really fantastic. And what about Pat DeHeer and all of the work that he's been putting in, rebranding the profession?
Yeah, it's just amazing. Megan and Pat together. I say we because we're observers. We're not part of it. But the House of Delegates actually approved the budget to start discussions on rebranding the profession. Yeah. And we're talking like a $10 to $12 million campaign. And the effort, I think, is important, because not only will it put podiatry on the map and people will know what podiatry is, but then when we're recruiting students and we go to an undergraduate institution, we will be talking to students that they already are thinking about podiatry. And then we have to convince the best ones to come to Arizona. You know that.
Because again, we have no problems disclosing our conflicts of interest, which is very much at the Arizona school, both of us being ridiculously biased, but that's okay.
Yep.
I totally agree. And I think it was also, 100% support to that financial budget. Like those things never happen.
Yeah.
Standing ovation for Megan McClellan after the financial meeting. I mean, these are things that sound very remarkable, comparatively speaking, to some of these other meetings. And, we go by so many different names and we wear so many different hats in podiatry. And as you and I have talked about, it can make it a little bit confusing to the public when they don't really know, foot and ankle surgeon, podiatrist, podiatric surgeon, podiatric medicine. It's actually all one and the same. It's just a lot of different ways of expressing that. And I thought this weekend was a nice representation of that too, really supporting the idea that it's okay that we're not all the same. We want to celebrate that and we want to lift each other up and support each other, which feels very much in line with that unification.
I think that was the overriding theme of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Collaboration, transparency, accountability, all the things that you need to be successful.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Joe, thanks again.
Dawn of a new era.
Dawn of
it's
a
very
new era.
exciting.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.